y'all. Sorry for grossness. We literally just got out of bed, so Connor just had his diaper changed, and we're just still, well, he's naked now, but I'm still in my pajamas. This is going to be, I guess, like his 3-week update, my postpartum, I guess, update. He actually turned 3 weeks on Monday, and today's Friday, so I'm kind of behind. But that's just kind of how life is right now. I guess I'll talk about him first, and then I'll talk about me, how things are going. About probably a week and a half, 2 weeks-ish. I didn't mention it in my last video, but he got the baby acne really, really bad. It's cleared up a whole lot now, but it was the worst case I had seen on at least one of my children, and our doctor, or the pediatrician, was like, wow, he's got a lot, but, I mean, you can't do anything about it. It goes away on its own, and it has been. He's still got a few, but it's looking tons better. You gonna come sit with us? All right. So he had that issue. I haven't weighed him, but he feels like he's putting on weight. He's a good eater, but he has started having some serious issues with colic / reflux / GERD. I'm not really sure, because all the research I've done on the internet, it's kind of like he has a little bit of everything, and you know, no two people are alike, and I think that he just has his own symptoms. And I am kind of starting to lean away from colic a little bit. What? Oh, did you take your tab off your diaper? Here, we'll stick it back. There you go. Alright. You're going to sit right there? You comfy? I'm leaning away from the colic because he seems to be getting better. I eliminated dairy from my diet just here in the last few days, and he already seems better. He still is having some gurgly sounds in his throat and having some spit up. Not every time he eats, but sometimes when he eats, he'll spit up, and it's kind of a lot. But he's not having the crying fits as much as he was before. And he's been very, very, very gassy since the beginning, but it was like a huge struggle for him to be able to pass the gas. And now, I mean, he passes it so much easier, and like it doesn't even wake him up at night. Before, he was straining so hard to relieve the gas in his belly that it would wake him up, and he would scream, and it would be a long time of him screaming, and I would want to cry, and it was just, well, I did cry, and it was just really, really hard. But I'm already starting to see some improvement just here in the last few days with eliminating the dairy, and he seems a lot happier. He still has some crying fits, but I read that that it'll take a few weeks. It'll take like 2 or 3 weeks of eliminating dairy to see the full benefits. I did also order some Colic Calm. Megan recommended trying that out, and I think that they sell it at CVS, but we have, I think, one location where I live, and it's kind of far away, and so we just ordered it on the internet, and so I'm waiting for that to get here. I really think it's a dairy thing with him having the gurgly sounds in his throat, but I'm hoping that that will help, you know, at least relieve some of the symptoms for him here until we get the full benefits of not having dairy in my diet. So, but he's doing pretty good. He likes to be bounced constantly. He wants to be bounced, especially like during his fussiest times in the evening. So, we're going to be looking at getting, I guess it's the Bright Starts bouncer that bounces on its own. We got one just in the mail from a friend of the family the other day, but it was a different one, and so we're just going to go exchange it and get him the other one. So I think that that'll help, but I think that's it on how he's doing. He's starting to squirm a whole lot. He's trying to hold up his head quite a bit. That head is really heavy for him, so it doesn't last very long, but he's been trying. he rolls over sometimes. I usually miss it. Usually it's like when I've got him laid down for a nap and I'll come back and he will have rolled himself onto his belly. He doesn't really like pacifiers a whole lot, but when he's screaming, sometimes I stick one in there and try to get him to take it, just like to try to soothe him. Because, you know, lots of things will work for him, but they would work for like just a short period of time. You know, like bouncing works the best, the pacifier works sometimes, walking with him works sometimes, putting him in a swing works sometimes. It's just hard to find something that would keep him happy all the time, but we're not struggling with that quite as much anymore. But back to the pacifiers, the only one I could get him to take was the MAM brand. He didn't really like the Soothie from the hospital, and I had gotten another brand. I can't remember what it was. I bought the MAM brand and something else that was supposed to be shaped a little bit more like the breast, but he didn't really like it. He acted like I was choking him to death with it, but he'll take the MAM one sometimes. I don't think he's going to be a pacifier kid, but really my only pacifier kid was Colton. None of the others liked it. Colton liked it a lot until about 8 months, and then he just gave it up. He didn't need it anymore, I guess. Are you giving him his blanket? That's so nice. Connor, I'll update y'all on Connor too. As far as his relationship with his brother, he loves him and wants to hold him and wants to kiss him, and right now he's trying to give him his blanket. He loves him, but it is hard to share your mommy when you're used to being the baby. And so he has had several moments where I'm nursing his brother and he wants in my lap, so he tries to sit on his brother, or he tries to crawl on my shoulders while I'm nursing, or he'll be playing with my cell phone because I've got some little ABC and Shape apps and things for him to play with, and he'll get mad and throw the phone at his brother, and he smacked him on the back one day, and he has smacked me, and most of the time he likes him, but he does have his moments, and it's just one of those things I think with a toddler, you just kind of have to be cautious of, because it's normal for them to feel a little bit jealous, and they're just at an age right now where they just don't always know how to control their emotions and what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. So he hasn't necessarily been getting spankings for it. He has had to go to his room a few times, and he's thrown huge fits in there and banged on the door, and I just leave him for a little while until he stops his fit, and then he comes back out. But that's kind of been a little bit of a struggle, but I know it'll get better with time. It's just kind of an age thing, but he's doing really well. As far as me, I had been doing really, really great until he started having the tummy issues and not really sleeping at all at night. Because, they say sleep when the baby sleeps. Well, he wasn't sleeping at night, but then he would sleep, whenever he did sleep during the day, I couldn't sleep because I had to take care of Connor. So I was just physically exhausted, and I got pretty baby bluesy. And I've had some family drama, and the medical bills from the hospital are coming in, and there's so much, and it makes me so mad because we have good insurance, and we have these huge hospital and doctor bills, and the doctor is charging, or the doctor's office is charging more than what, was portrayed to me in the beginning as far as what was included and what wasn't, and I'm getting statements where my payments aren't reflected, and it's just really crazy and really disheartening. And although I'm completely happy with how his birth went, it is making me mourn a little bit about the fact that I didn't have a home birth, because it would have been so much cheaper, and it still was something that I wanted. It just wasn't something that a hospital birth wasn't something that my husband and I could both agree on and both feel comfortable with. And I really didn't have anybody in my family that was like gung-ho and totally supportive about it, as far as like, I did have a couple of friends that were okay with it. But, I'm confident with my decision. I had to do what worked best for my husband and I, but because I'm seeing these huge bills, it's not necessarily making me regret things, I guess, but I am kind of mourning that fact a little bit that I didn't have that home birth, and I don't think anything would have changed that, but so I've been going through that. The last few days I'd been pretty much a crying mess. Like, everything made me cry. Everything Micah said to me made me cry. It wasn't even ugly, and I would... Are you tripping over a gift bag? Silly goose. It wasn't anything ugly, but I would just totally take anything he said to me wrong, and poor guy, he's been walking on eggshells, and yesterday was a better day. I really made an effort to be positive about things and not so emotional about things, or try to not be emotional about things. And yeah, things that he would say would still bother me, but I would, have to tell myself, okay, he doesn't mean it that way. So I don't necessarily think I have postpartum depression. It was probably borderline the last couple of days. I was tempted to call the doctor and be like, I need happy pills, but I didn't. And I think it's just kind of a severe case of the baby blues, and just kind of everything that was going on, with lack of sleep and him crying and, family drama, and it was just kind of a combination of everything. And then when you add crazy hormones on top of it, it stinks. Let's see, what else? The weight is coming off, not as fast as I would like it to. With Connor, I was in my skinny jeans within 2 weeks, but I didn't gain much weight with him. My pregnancy was really unhealthy as far as stress levels. I was still in college. It was my senior year of college, so I was working and going to school and being a single mom, and Micah lived in a different state at the time, and I had family drama, and it was just awful. And so I really wasn't as healthy as I should have been. So I had to tell myself that this time around, I was healthy, and, I didn't have near as much stress during his pregnancy. So of course I put on more weight, probably a normal amount. I did put on a normal amount of weight, what I should have. I know, I'm sorry. Let me pat your back. So it's been a little bit harder this time because I did put on a little bit more weight, and it's been a little bit harder for my body to go back to normal. But I'm excited to say I am back in the 120s, I'm at 129 for my weight, which normally I'm right about 120. So I only have about 10 pounds to go, and I'm kind of hoping that cutting out this dairy stuff will help me shed that pretty quickly. So, because I can't eat all that ice cream anymore like I was before. So I'm hoping that that'll help, and I'm watching my portions a lot more now, and yeah, I think that's it on us. I'm sure I'll think of something to tell y'all after I record this, but I'll update you on it later. But I think that's it. Oh, and he's over it, so we're done, I think. So I hope everybody has a great week. Bye.